Today's story is one of how computer scientists at Vellore Institute of Technology were able to use the devastating Cyclone Philin to create a potentially life-saving applet. Cyclone Philin hit the Indian states of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh with wind speeds of over 125 miles per hour. The cyclone was a devastating blow to the Indian people. It forced 1 million to evacuate and caused at least 17 deaths. The Indian government was barely able to update the population, but tried to use Facebook to send alerts. This chaotic response showed an urgent need for an effective extreme weather alert system. Dr. Sachit Ghosh and his team of computer science undergraduates at Vellore Institute of Technology noticed the need for an alert system and created a mobile phone-based applet that will provide real-time storm tracking for Indians. Their applet uses the Weather Research and Forecasting Model, a system in which scientists use radar images and observed data of major storms to accurately forecast the paths and intensity of future storms. The team then converted the images into a format compatible with mobile phones. A mobile phone-based applet is an effective alert system, as 97% of the population owns a cell phone. According to lead researcher Dr. Ghosh, cyclone alerts can save lives and property, but must be easily accessible. Our research explores how the WRF forecast can be interfaced with mobile telephony, which has deep penetration even in rural pockets of India. Dr. Ghosh's team published a paper detailing their research in the Atmospheric Science Letters. Their program is still being tested, but will hopefully be made available to the general public before another major storm hits India.
Since the turn of the century, video game consoles have been banned in China due to the belief that they would negatively affect the minds of the youth. Despite the fact that manufacturers such as Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo have their products assembled in China, they are not allowed to sell them there. As of January 7, 2014, China's government has temporarily lifted the ban of foreign video game consoles. This may be the start for a console market in China, but since there have been no gaming consoles for so long, young gamers found an equal second. The youth of China found MMO, or massively multiplayer online games. 2/3 of the internet activity in China is the playing of MMOs. Millions gather in internet cafes all over China to play online with their friends. If console manufacturers want to compete with PC games, they will need to find new, interesting games, or the newly found console market will disappear, never having accomplished what it could have. Recently, Microsoft released its newest product, the Xbox One, which intends to make one device for every digital need, such as watching TV and streaming movies. While Sony released the PlayStation 4, which is focused more on actual gameplay and graphics. Nintendo also released a new console, the Wii U, which has not been given as much attention as the feud between the new Xbox and the new PlayStation, because it has not been as successful. The competition for who will dominate China's gaming has begun. Who will win?
The air in China has been polluted by smog, fog combined with smoke, and other pollutants. The polluted air is believed to be caused by marine vessels. The polluted air has made it nearly impossible to breathe. Many people living in China use face masks at all times. The government of China has made very little effort to resolve this issue. As a solution, ships, boats, and submarines have been forced to switch their fuels to fuel which is 30% more environment friendly. Sometime this year, there will be a conference to find the best possible solution to ridding the air of pollution.
If we don't take emergency action, the smog will get worse. I can predict it. 10 years ago, I told the Shanghai government they should limit the number of vehicles, but nowhere in China did that happen. Instead, we focused on development and it damaged the environment.
Even with pollution. In October of 2013, the smog levels reached 100, but reached a level of 148 by November. In December, the smog levels rose even higher to 180. By January of this year, the smog levels dropped back down to 148. In Oregon, there are researchers tracking the downwind clouds of pollution that are traveling from China towards the United States. The researchers have discovered that one of the most significant pollutants found is mercury. The mercury has appeared because Asia burns coal, and Chinese coal consists of a very high amount of mercury, causing China to be one of the largest sources of chemicals in the world. According to Ken Zhu from Bon TV China, China is receiving international attention because of its air pollution problem. Gina McCarthy, the agency administrator for the United States Environmental Protection Agency, offered assistance to China on how to reduce air pollution. Gina, who is expected to visit China, stated the United States also had similar problems with air pollution. The people of China are very concerned about the air pollution, and with the proper resources and assistance, they can resolve this hazardous problem.
In today's world, nuclear energy is used everywhere. It is arguably the world's most important source for energy. In recent years, scientists have aimed to make nuclear energy less harmful and wasteful. Sometimes, however, accidents such as Fukushima are bound to happen, thus causing higher radiation levels around the world. But how do certain radiation levels affect us? Since the Fukushima disaster, radiation levels of the United States have increased. Many states have reported traces of radioactive material from Japan. Some levels of radiation are normal and are generally not of much importance, but higher radiation levels increase risk of cancer and radiation poisoning. In Japan, more serious problems have arisen. Controversy circled throughout Japan whether to use renewable energy rather than nuclear-powered energy. In protest, a Japanese politician drank radioactive water. Despite this, Japan chose to undergo controlled nuclear-powered disasters, thus paving the way for later use of nuclear energy. Countries such as France and the US have already undergone such tests. Dr. Edwin Lindman, a senior scientist of the Global Security Program, shared his thoughts. This type of experiment is usually under very careful controlled conditions. The amount of material involved is very small, and the facility is going to be secured and filtered, so I think there's very little risk associated with this experiment to the public. They are, however, very expensive and preparations are extremely difficult, so there's relatively little data available from this type of experiment. And this is one of the reasons why Japanese are doing this one now. Although the aftermath of Fukushima was not as personal to us, it was to hundreds of thousands of others. The steps they are taking now, however, are in the best interest of the future of Japan. Fukushima, however, has faced a fall in which they may never recover from.
Bye.